How we going, guys? Happy Friday. Now, last episode of Loading Up, I ran you through RedArc's Manager 30 and what that was all about. And I said I was going to run you through something today that is a brand new product from RedArc, and that is the RedVision, which actually adds on to the Manager 30 to A, make it much more intuitive to use, and B, a lot easier to install. Now, we ran you through in that video what it took to install a Manager 30, or what it took to install a charging solution, or I suppose a power solution for your trailer or your truck. These are two of the products that the RedVision replaces. Now, this is one of the very minute, small details, but when it comes to installation, and when you're installing as many of these systems as we do, it is literally hours per trailer of wiring to switch panels, fuses, and relays, that all of this stuff now ends up in the bin, and it's replaced by this unit that you see here behind me. And I'll run you through what you get when you buy the RedVision system from RedArc. So in this first box here, now you'll see this unit in the standard sort of RedArc fashion. Their manufacturing is awesome, all manufactured here in Australia. This is the brains of the RedVision or TVMS, Total Vehicle Management System. Again, we'll get into that a little bit more. But what this is doing is replacing all of your switching, all of your fusing, all of your relays, and puts it all into one unit. Now, so what you've got here is a multiple of fused outputs. These units here are specifically made for the Patriot Campers X1. So these vary a little bit from the standard units that you get off the shelf. But what we've got in our trailers, we've got 5 10 amp fuses, we've got 5 30 amp fuses, and then everything is all set up with your big fuses, your inverter fuses, ready to accept all of the products that we install into the Patriot Campers X1, all in really one compact unit. Now, you've got all the plugs inside the box, so when it comes to wiring, our wiring loom plugs directly into the RedVision, and then obviously it's cabled back to the main faceplate, back to the main unit, and that's where you control everything. So that's how you get rid of a lot of wiring. We've reduced our wiring harness by about 30% using this unit, and again, when it comes to time saving, that was a big bonus for us, but the main bonus in this product is the features, which I'm going to run you through right now. So before we actually get to that faceplate, I might actually just show you quickly so you can see a different mounting option. This is where we've mounted it in the X1. Around this side of the X1, you can see this is the same unit. So that's the actual RedVision control box, I suppose you'd call it. Now in here, we've got access to all of our fuses in here. We've got MIDI fuses at the end, and then your standard blade fuses. There's a little fuse holder. So really, as far as accessibility goes for our customers, say if something was to go wrong and they were to blow a fuse, everything's in one location. And depending on your application, you would install that unit in a place that's readily accessible. It's already in a housing, it's already in a box, so you can mount it nice and neat, and you can get to any problem issues really quite simply. Now let's get to the fun stuff. All right, so the display. That is the number one difference that you're going to notice immediately with the RedVision. So this is the Manager 30 standard display, and we mount these in the camper trailers right here, so you can automatically see the difference. And usually we have the switch panel mounted directly underneath. So you've got these toggle switches with your fuses in behind. So replacing all of that gear there is this display, which again is really intuitive. They're nice soft touch buttons. If we turn the power on, you can see in the main display that functionality-wise, or your readings of what your battery's doing, your state of charges, your inputs, your outputs, are all exactly the same. The BMS is still controlling the whole system, and your BMS is still actually your charge unit. What this unit does is piggybacks into the BMS to house all of that electric gear, fuses and relays and all the rest of it, and obviously talk back to the RedVision system. We've got integration with RedVision to a 1000 watt inverter, so you can go from a 750 watt RedArc inverter all the way up to their 3000 watt inverter, and it's fully integrated into this system. So you can see exactly what your inverter is doing, and you can control it from here as well. Another really handy feature worth noting, the RedVision Bluetooth directly to a smartphone, Android or obviously an Apple, iPhone. And whilst that might seem a little bit gimmicky to some, say if you're up in your tent at night, you're reading a book or you're watching a movie on your iPad or whatever, kids are still out playing or the wife's out doing something, when everybody gets into bed, you can go all off, click one button, turn all your lights off, you can switch your water pump on, you can switch your fan on inside your tent, you can do it all from your phone. So after using the system for some time now, realistically, it's one of those options that we offer here. It's something that if you didn't have it, you probably wouldn't miss it. But once you had it, you wouldn't do without it. Obviously, the display to save power will shut down. If you go into all your lighting, you can see here, this is our left box. A really handy feature, which I'll touch on now before I forget as well. So we have our units programmed that when it senses an ignition switch from your car through your tail light plug, it'll turn everything off in the trailer except for the fridge. So say for example, if you're towing, you're about to leave camp, you take off and your trailer's connected or your caravan, once you turn that ignition, that feature we've got programmed in will just shut down everything inside the trailer except the fridge and leave the fridge on. So the system's fully programmable as well. Those inputs and outputs and what it can and can't control is constantly evolving with RedArc. You'll see on the main screen here, we've got both of our water tank senders now integrated into the unit. So that's our tank 1, tank 2. I think you can do up to about 4 tanks currently, but check with your dealer, check with the team at RedArc about the evolution of the RedVision and as they add on new features. Going through the menus again, so these are all of our lights. If I hit the down arrow, you can see I've got the switch here for our air compressor, so that's fully integrated now, and our airbag man controls. This is our fridge, on and off. This is our water pump. You can hear that kick in. Your 12 volt switches over here, and your stereo, which is the little stereo unit that we have underneath. Now, going through the menus, you can see it's a lot, the screen's a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier to use. It's a lot simpler to understand as well. But like I said, it's giving exactly the same information that I showed in the last series of loading up. So I probably won't go through all of that again. All right, guys, so there you have it. That's a really quick run through what the RedVision is all about, the new total vehicle management system from RedArc. Now, this is an addition to the BMS. The BMS has all the functionality that you need, but the RedVision system for me, it just gives you that little bit more control, a lot more intuitive through the menus. Obviously, it looks a lot nicer as well, and a big bonus when it comes to installation. You've got everything really easy to install and everything in one place. That's it. Enjoy your weekend. I'm out of here.